ever since I chopped my hair off, I feel like I have no idea how to style it, and it kind of dries like wavy like this, and I really feel like I'm like a Californian gender flipped beetle, you know? Like, it's, especially with the tie-dye, I don't know. It's a very specific energy. So we are here today to get my mojo back, okay? This is the Emperor's New Groove. Noelle 7 Pages New Groove. I've talked about this a couple times recently, but like just the last 6 months, I cannot get my groove back for filming, for vlogging, for like regular, consistent content posting. I can't catch up, and I'm like failing again and again against my own deadlines and my own projects, and then I just go down this endless spiral of like,
I can't live up to my own expectations, and I'm not posting, and I'm not consistent, and it's just...
why do I do this to myself, you know?
No one is pressuring me except for me.
I know this sounds really dramatic as someone with like a small channel who talks about books on the internet in tie-dye shirts, okay? But it is something I think about a lot. I'm finally ready to admit to myself that ever since I started my new job in December, if you didn't know, I started a new full-time job that I really love. It's like such a good career step for me. I'm valued, I'm challenged, but it is like my full-time job. Takes a lot of my bandwidth, a lot of my energy, and I just have been in constant denial since December about being able to maintain my channel and my reading and my content the way that I thought that I could. So this is heart to heart a little bit, but also we are going to get on with our vlog, I promise. But I feel like I needed to, you know, touch base about where the hell have you been, Loka, with the last few months of like little videos here and there, but I just haven't been able to complete the big exciting projects that I've been working on. Also partly because I crashed and burned again on a couple of them because I didn't have as much time as I thought I would. I couldn't put as much time into the editing or the researching as I thought that I could, and then I had like weird imposter syndrome about not being able to finish it and justify the time, and it's been quite the ride in my little brain, okay? And I was just talking to my boyfriend about this a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, you just need to give yourself permission to quit. Which is not something that I like to do. I like to have many different things cooking at once. Exhibit A would be my currently reading shelf on Storygraph. There's like 13 or more books that I'm currently reading because I do not like to quit. I'm not a giver-upper, at least not on things like that. Videos and content and commitments included. If you read my newsletter, you've known that I have been unfairly teasing several projects this year so far, and I just need to be willing to scrap them for parts and move on with my content, because it's just, we've hit ourselves at a plateau, and we need to cut our losses at this point. Giving myself permission to quit things when it doesn't work out. When it doesn't work out. That's also the reason that I haven't done a single wrap-up this year so far, because all of the books I've read this year so far have been for some kind of project or vlog or whatever. So later today, I will be filming like a whole ass wrap-up of the last 6 months, and we're calling it a fresh start. There is one that if I can finish in July, I'm gonna still do it. But the rest of the projects that I've been telling myself are in the mix, I may sprinkle in some of it in future videos, but those projects I am willing to quit. This is a little bit more vulnerable and lengthier than I had planned for this to be, because I just felt like I haven't really sat down and talked about anything in a while. It's like been very structured and planned recently. So I thought today, just in my day off, futzing around the house, sipping my coffee, fresh start a no pressure vlog, and it'll just be like a weekly vlog. No pressure, just execution. Like, I just need to finish something. So that's what this is, to prove to myself that I can still make good content and I can still put it out there. I can still finish things. That being said, ignore everything that I just said, because this does still have a theme, kind of. It's just, I'm not gonna make it into a whole commentary on whatever theme. It's just that this is gonna be a chill, summery reading vlog. Summer is my favorite season. I love summer so much. I love the sunshine. I love the plants. I love the pool. I love the vacations. I just love the summer energy, the cocktails, like the pictures, the style. I love everything about summer. And it's mid-July right now, and I'm already seeing the hype for Halloween. Not a dig on the Halloween fall girlies. I get it. I get that's your favorite thing. And I need to romanticize my favorite season in the same way that the fall Halloween girlies wholeheartedly, unapologetically, year-round romanticize fall and Halloween. Because I've never really done that with summer, and I want to have my romanticized summer dream happen. So I'm not going to share a TBR in case I don't get through all of them or I change my mind along the way, but I'll tell you what I'm reading right now in this moment. Super summary. It's The Setup by Lizzie Dent, which is the second Lizzie Dent novel that I've read. I don't even know if I would call it a romance, because Lizzie Dent does this thing with her like main protagonists where they start very unlikable. First book that I read of Lizzie Dent's is called The Summer Job. Okay, she's the summer romance is what she does. But again, I don't know if it's romance because they are definitely not self-insert protagonists, because they're very unlikable and annoying at the beginning. So it's a little bit too close to home to self-insert, because they have very particular, very on-page flaws in the beginning, which is why maybe I don't hear Lizzie Dent talked about a lot. But what I love about her as a writer is like these very flawed, very unlikable women protagonists go through a lot of personal growth and like just so happen to meet a romantic interest along the way. Like The Summer Job very much so is about her journey as a person and growing up a little bit as herself and becoming a more responsible, more trustworthy person that she is like confident and proud of in herself. And so far it's kind of a similar vibe with The Setup. I'm about 60, 70 pages in. It's a hilarious off the rails synopsis. Let me put my coffee down. This woman is 31 and her best friend stands her up on their like besties vacation because her best friend has like an infant. So she's like, I'm so sorry, I have to back out of our vacation. You go by yourself. And she's like, okay. Goes on this vacation, stumbles upon a fortune teller. She's very into astrology as a means of like not having to make her own decisions. Basically, it's like putting the decision making and the trust on something else because she struggles to trust her own self. So anyways, she stumbles across a fortune teller. Fortune teller says, you're about to meet someone. It's about to happen, but also I'm literally going into labor. Like the fortune teller mid-reading stands up and is like, I have to go have my baby right now. Can you lock the doors for me? And she's like, okay. So she's standing there in this fortune teller's shop and puts on like the veil and her jewelry just to try and feel like what it would be like to know what your destiny is, I guess. And as she's standing there in the garb, a very attractive man walks in and she's like, this is the guy, this is the one. So she pretends to be the fortune teller with the veil and everything, tells this man, your dream girl is waiting for you on this day at this place, her name is this. And then she goes home from vacation, tells her best friend about what happened. Her best friend is like, you did what now? And she has like 3 months to try and make over herself in preparation for this destiny meeting that she cooked up on her own, like fake destiny, you know? So it's a little bit less about like her meeting someone special and way more about her working on herself, because right now Mara, the main character's name, she is very annoying and is very, very flawed, very unlikable, doesn't really have any relationships in her life except for her longtime best friend. And even then you can tell it's pretty one-sided on Mara's side. Like Mara is taking from that relationship, and her best friend, who's a new mom, a young wife, has a lot going on in her own life. Like, she never asks her about her life. Hey, how are you doing with your 10-month-old baby? How are you doing with your husband being at work full time? How are you doing with like your new house and your side hustle? It's just like Mara, 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 and she has no concept of anything happening in anyone else's life. So I don't know if I'm really selling this book. This is what I love about Lizzie Dent. Starts with someone who needs so much work and makes them uncomfortable and puts them on this journey of growth and life lessons, and maybe along the way she'll meet a romantic interest. So that's where I am at right now. I have several other summary options. This stack right here is all of my unread romance. I'm just on such a romance kick. That's probably what we're gonna stick with in this vlog to get me back in the groove, back out of my reading slump, frankly. But I will let you know, okay? I'll keep you posted about the reading. Can't wait to just like read by the pool and chill. I have to show you our garden that we planted like a month ago. I have to go out there today and water and prune a little bit. I want to fully embrace and romanticize the summer season because I love it so much, and I am envious of the fall girlies for just really embracing it that way and for their season. So that is the goal, is I want to romanticize my favorite season, get back in the flow of things for vlogging, and also reading through some summery, vibey books. And we're not going to overthink it, and we're not going to have weird imposter syndrome. We're just going to do it. Thanks for being here.
Everything around me looks a little great. Ever since you found I worry about my brain. I just need a time out, probably just a sprain. It's okay, baby, it's okay. Got a lot of words you don't know how to say. Pull out all your big ones, tryna flip my face. I give you a big hug, say I'm feeling great. It's okay, baby, it's okay. I don't wanna see you worry, but if you come on too early, if you make my toes too curly, and if you really have me, baby, just hold that roll. How do you get it so wrong? Get it sometimes you cold on a big problem though, yeah. Cause to me you're an angel. If you ask me why, I say yeah, yo. Everything around me looks a little great. Ever since you found out, worry about my brain. I just need a time out, probably just a sprain. It's okay, baby, it's okay. Got a lot of words you don't know how to say. Pull out all your big ones, tryna flip my face. I give you a big hug, say I'm feeling great. It's okay, baby, it's okay.
I'm alright, everything's fine, everything good, everything nice. Don't pull the curtain to something uncertain, just live in your life. Taking a drive, stay in your lane. Don't veer off, like go insane. Think of your brain as a shelter in place. Don't let no one in, just lock up your chains. Change to be feared if you hear what they're saying. All in the news, feeding us views. Them feel good to be tamed. Taking my feet, treated as truth. Ooh, ain't it a breeze to forget how to speak and let them do the speaking for you. Ooh, learn to feel free and to get your freedom, decisions be made by the group.
Mama told me, safer folding. Trying to carve yourself a space, bend over backwards, let the those run us right down the train.
Everything around me looks a little great. Ever since you found out, worry about my brain. I just need a time out, probably just a sprain. It's okay, baby, it's okay. Got a lot of words you don't know how to say. Pull out all your big ones, tryna flip my face. I'll give you a big hug, say I'm feeling great. It's okay, baby, it's okay.
a dog. Look at her. Look at her.
Hello. Just got home from work and we had some book mail to open. I'm pretty sure these are my book club picks, but it feels like we could at least do a little baby haul while we're at it. Oh, maybe one is a book club pick. I don't know what the other one is, actually. Oh, come on. Okay, see? This is not related to book club at all, but wow, I did not know this was like a shiny cover. I ordered Zachary Ying and the Dragon Emperor by Ziranje Zhao. I have not read their first book, which is Iron Widow, but this is middle grade and I think is like a Yu-Gi-Oh spin-off slash, dragon stuff. And I found it on Pango and I just snatched it up. I don't know if you can really tell, it's like a metallic cover. This is so pretty. So excited. And then this one I think is my book club pick. Ooh, I really love the colors of this cover. This is Deep as the Sky, Red as the Sea. This is our Silly Goose book club pick for July, which is so great because it's currently like July 17th today. So we're running a little bit late as per usual. Am I gonna read this in the next 2 weeks? Absolutely not. Obviously, you know me and I will read this within 24 hours of the live show. It's just who I am as a person. But anyways, baby book haul for our little Monday book mail situation. Anyways, I think I'm gonna try and fold some laundry before Wes gets home, and then we'll just have ourselves a nice little chill Monday night. That's it.
The wind.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Jeez.
I'm taking pictures.
It's enough slices.
What'd you say?
I said it's enough slices.
Oh yeah? Can you say it again? You were made for the camera. High five.
Hello. Just got home from work, Tuesday afternoon. Immediately changed into comfy clothes. Put my hair up. Sunday says hi. Come here. Come here. Let me put you down. I'm about to hop on. Well, I won't be on, but Jayla and friends are hosting some live reading sprints for their book club classic literature. I will not be reading the unhinged spicy romance pick of the month, but I will be maybe finishing the setup. Wes will be home late. I think he's golfing with a buddy tonight, so I'm just vibing in my comfy clothes with my silly summer read, adult beverage, and also everybody's favorite, the Cheez-Its. So we just really have the holy trinity, all of the essentials. This, I'm about 2/3 of the way through. It's okay. It's okay. I'm feeling like maybe 3-star vibes, but I know Lizzie Dent has surprised me before, and she might surprise me again. I am enjoying it. It's just like the thing that she does is like the main characters are just like so not their best selves, and it's tough to watch. Not quite cringy, but just like, oh, like you are a real flawed, not self-aware person who's on the way to being more self-aware, working through some of the issues. But it's fun, and the vibes are great. I also started today, or last night at work, I started the audiobook for One Last Stop, and I think I'm like a third into One Last Stop. Very fun. Don't really know how I feel about it yet, but I'm enjoying the New York City, like, early 20s subway, vaguely sci-fi romance energy. So it's fun. I'm trying to like temper expectations because I have heard mixed reviews about One Last Stop, but that's so far where we're at. And we're just gonna enjoy our little reading session.
All I'm keeping track of is the weather, and there's no wind, no sun, nothing. 80 days and I'm not feeling better, but a sweet relief is finding me. There's no love under the portrait. Ain't got no loyalties, no one to please. I just got that rhythm ordinarily, setting my soul free.
It's Wednesday night. I just got home from work and I am having a fabulous reading week. But I did finish the setup last night, and as we speak, I'm about maybe 60% through One Last Stop. Sunday's crying. I haven't seen her all day. Come here. Both of them have like the exact vibes I wanted. I ended up with 3 stars. It was very sweet, a story about this woman's personal growth and learning to trust herself and self-awareness. Lizzie Dent feels like an in-between, like a love child of Emily Henry and Sally Rooney. More of a look at like young women in their 20s and 30s just trying to figure out life, like this like second coming of age in your early adulthood. I liked most of the characters and all of their arcs. It just didn't quite wow me, but I enjoyed it. Like an easy breezy 3-star. Meanwhile, One Last Stop, part of her daily commute involves taking the Q train to her college classes, where she meets this other young woman who seems to be perpetually on the subway. And she develops this crush on this girl, and they discover, you are always on the subway, and not in a normal way. You are always on the subway in like a sci-fi speculative way. So there's a lot of things going on, and at the same time, I'm like 60% in. I don't feel like a lot is happening. It's very much a character-driven story. It just feels very almost lethargic. Is that a weird thing to say? Like, I'm enjoying the characters, it's very fun, but I just don't feel this urgency to keep reading. And I think if I didn't have the audiobook, I would not be nearly as motivated. But because it is my like one audiobook of the week right now, at least until more holds come in, it's like, okay, I might as well turn on the audiobook. I could be surprised. I also just realized for this entire update that my microphone is facing backwards. So if the audio sounds weird, I'm sorry about that. But that's the update.
Used to never do what's best for me. I was such a hopeless fool. I just kept making the same mistakes, yeah. That was until I found you. You became the middle way between getting no love and getting way too much. I pray that you're the one who cares for me, cares enough to keep me safe. Just like the sun, you showed me which way I should go, yeah. Just like the wind, you pulled me up when I was low, oh yeah. This time my hopes are up, 'cause you got my heart in your hand. And
Wesley has to pick out one book for me to read unconditionally, and so far his ideas are Stephen King, political nonfiction, or history. So it's going great. This is the pick. Perfect.
Habits can be hard to kill, but with you it can't be done. I don't wanna chase a thrill, no. I just wanna overcome. Feeling like I'm lost at sea when I'm getting no love or getting way too much. You see, you're the one I really need. Need you to be here for me. Just like the sun, you showed me which way I should go. Yeah. Just like the wind, you pulled me up when I was down.
Okay, hello. Friday afternoon. It's actually like Friday night. It's like 5:30 or 6. We spent the whole day just like having a time. We went downtown. We shopped around. We had a cute little lunch, and then we just like had ourselves an afternoon. And I also have to update you because I finished one last stop, started another book, purchased some books. So okay, let me gather my thoughts. I ended up finishing this hybrid reading, audiobook and physical book, for the last 30% or so, and it did get better. Like, it kind of does that Casey McQuiston thing where like the stakes got higher, the momentum really built at the end. Like, I was very invested and like in it the last like third of the book, but it wasn't enough to make me really love it. I think I'm gonna go with a 4-star. I really ended up very much enjoying the relationship dynamic. I loved the found family. I loved the like cozy energy throughout, which is so strange because most of it takes place like on the subway, but there's also like this like cute family-owned diner, and one of the roommates is a psychic, and one of the other roommates is like an artist and an engineer. I don't know. There's several different drag shows throughout the book. Like, it just, the vibes, great. The romance, okay. That's now 2 summary books that I've read for this weekly vlog so far. This takes place in like the summer in New York. This also obviously takes place over the summer. Also, in the meantime, I will finish this probably tonight. I did start the graphic novel Witchy Volume 2. I'm already like halfway through. I just started this after I finished One Last Stop because I just could have kept reading something, but I wasn't ready to commit to like another book quite yet. This is a society where the magic, like power, comes from how long your hair is. And the first book, she had to hide how long her hair was because she was worried that people would think she was so powerful that she was a threat. It's not blowing my mind, but it's cute and I'm enjoying the energy. Our little summer excursion shopping day date was rather eventful. We went to a thrift store, got him some shorts, got me some pants. We went to a ring store, like a silver store that I always go to, and I got 2 new pinky rings. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. This one is like a little yin yang, and this one is literally, let's see if this will focus. It's a little bird. Now I have a little bird pinky ring. I have a thing about odd numbers, so I left the house wearing 3 today. Thumb ring, this ring, and this ring. And I was like, well, I'll just get 2 pinky rings and that will maintain my odd number. And here we are. Wes also got a thumb ring while we were there, so we're just building our collection. And then we went and got ourselves a little picnic, went to the coffee shop. Then we went to Barnes & Noble, because how could we not go to Barnes & Noble? And I asked him, and he very nicely was playing along. I said, I want you to pick out 1 book for me and I will unconditionally read whatever you pick out. And at first I really thought that he was going to pick out like a Stephen King or a nonfiction or something, just so he would have the excuse, you know, to make me read. I really said, 1 book, I'll read it, no conditions. He ended up choosing The Princess Bride, which is really funny. I think I will really enjoy this actually, and his name is Wesley, literally named after Wesley from The Princess Bride. So it just makes sense. It feels, you know, it feels full circle in a way, and I will enjoy reading this. It is like such a classic movie. I love the humor, and I'm looking forward to getting more of that from the book itself. So we're doing that. The rest of the haul, I picked up 2 books. One is very on theme with this being like Barbie release weekend. And I just posted this morning on Instagram of the 2 other books from this author, Lizzie Dent, and I didn't realize that her new book was already out, The Sweetest Revenge, in Barbie pink and everything. And I don't really know anything about it, except that I know that I enjoy this author, which is actually, hold on, me saying I know I enjoy this author is me having given her 2 other books each 3 stars. But I enjoyed the journey of both of them and think about them very fondly. So we don't need to get philosophical about what makes an enjoyable favorite author, you know? Favorite author feels generous. I don't know about that yet, but whatever. I do have the new book from her. One Handsome Neighbor, One No Good Ex, One Summer to Make the Comeback of Her Life. I don't know anything, but if I know one thing from her other books, it's that the main character is probably not going to be very likable at the beginning and will hopefully, you know, do some growing along the course of the story. So may or may not get to this weekend, because this is a weekly reading vlog and I'm not pressuring myself to do more than I need to. It's just a whatever I get to this week, right? So we may or may not get to this. And then the other one that I picked up just now at Barnes & Noble, purely on the influence of Sid and Jan. I never ever would have picked this up, I don't think, if not for both of them being surprised by how much they enjoyed it. And now I have FOMO and I bought it. This is the fine print by Lauren Asher, which is like an off-brand Disneyland inheritance billionaire story, which is really not anything I ever thought that I would be remotely interested in, but now I have to know. Now I have to know, and I'm keeping my mind open. We're gonna see where it just takes us. I will be along for the ride, no pun intended, being a theme park story. Okay, so this is the book haul of the day, which now means I have the very satisfying 3 matching covers from Lizzie Dent. I love that I just posted today of the first 2, and now I own, like, look at the spines. One of these even got like sun damage, and I don't even care. They look so nice. Like I love it. This should be brighter orange, but it got faded in the sun. But the covers look so good together. I love the style. So I don't know what I will read next. That's the update. I think we're gonna watch some Formula One. It is a race weekend, so we're gonna go sit down, watch the racing. I might have myself like a reading by the pool evening. We'll see. Oh wait. I also forgot. Okay, another thing that came in the mail today was an autographed vinyl of my favorite album from Queen Herbie. If you don't know, I have an obsession with Queen Herbie, okay? She is my Taylor Swift, basically. And this is Halloween is my favorite album right now of hers. And a few days ago on Instagram, she announced like a vinyl, like a signed vinyl sale, and I saw that one of the options was the Halloween and Mad Queen double feature, and was like, you know I'm gonna jump on that. So now I have signed Halloween on vinyl, which also happens to be Mad Queen. We don't even have a functional record player. We have a record player, but it's not hooked up to anything. Like, Wes brought it when he moved in years ago, and we just never like hooked it up. So I don't even have a way of playing this right now, but it's just going to be added to the collection. I don't even know if it's going to work, because the stupid delivery driver, it came with like tape all over it that said fragile. And then as we were leaving for our afternoon, it's like over 100 degrees today, and this was just like sitting out in the sun. So Wes is like, I don't even know if it'll work or if it's already been like warped or messed up sitting in the sun today. Like, who knows how long it was down there. But whatever, I have her signature on my favorite album, whether it will play or not. So we will cross that bridge when we get there. I'm sweating. Okay, I'm gonna open the windows, open up a beverage, and watch some racing. Okay, bye.
Hello, happy Saturday. Welcome to my office. I'm the only one in the office that works on Saturdays right now. Long story. but it's really nice because it's like no one's here. I could basically wear my pajamas, and it's a good time. And I just went to get a sandwich on my lunch, and originally I had brought with me Delilah Green Doesn't Care to read on my lunch break because I posted last night on Instagram, like, hey, like, pick my next read for me out of Delilah Green, The Sweetest Revenge, The Neighbor Favor, and Take a Hint, Dani Brown was like the 4 options. And this morning when I left for work, Delilah Green was winning, and I just went and checked it again, and now Dani Brown is winning. So instead of starting Delilah Green, I'll start Dani Brown when I get home tonight. But I have been listening to The Princess Bride, which is what Wes picked for me yesterday on our shopping trip. The audiobook is super fun, and it's just making me wish that we had like humorous fantasy more abundantly, because I'm having a blast. Like, the humor and the tone is so similar to like the Princess Bride movie, except that now I just get like a little bit more in depth on like the story and the lore and the backstories of some of the characters. Like the backstory of Inigo Montoya, you killed my father, prepare to die. Like, we get that whole, you know, that whole context, which was super fun. So I have a lot of like tedious stuff to work on that I think I can continue listening to the audiobook throughout the rest of my day. And then I'll start whatever won the poll when I get home tonight. It's looking like it is going to be Dani Brown, which is super fun because I read Chloe Brown like last year. So it's been a little while. I'm excited to be back in Talia Hibbert's writing later on. I'm so happy to be in here with air conditioning because it is like 105 outside. And I just, like, the excursion to go and get my sandwich was enough. I'm sweating. And it's nice to be back inside, get to finish out my day, probably do some shopping on the way home because we are out of coffee and Diet Pepsi and a laundry detergent, which we cannot have. So a brief errand on the way home, and then we have more Formula One to watch, which I know is going to be really good because I was already spoiled for it on Instagram earlier today. So everything's fine, but that's just how it goes.
Okay. Workday's over. Now we just get to go to Target and then go home. And then I'm off tomorrow. Go to Target for like 2 or 3 things and then spend $300. I think I blacked out, but we got some goodies. So that is the errand complete. I'm scared of falling. Good morning. It's not actually even morning. I think it's like 12:30. 12:30. I slept way too late today. It's Sunday, which means it's the last day of this vlog. no bullshit, I'm cutting it. I'm ending the vlog today. Not right now, but like today. So I woke up, made some coffee, went out, took care of the garden and the birds and everything before it got too hot. It has been so hot this week. And then today I just need to kind of get some things cleaned up around the house. You know, Sunday chores day, starting with watering the inside plants. These are a little bit sad. It's fine. So I needed to find an audiobook to listen to while I kind of do my little cleanup stuff. And I finished the audiobook for The Princess Bride yesterday, and then I was like, how did I get through that so fast? It's because it's the abridged version. It was like 3 hours long. So I technically read, where did I even put it? I really enjoyed the abridged audiobook, but it definitely was like, just like a longer version of the movie. I don't even know what I would rate it. I feel like I would need to go back and actually read the book, you know, but it's fun that it is like a classic fantasy book, I would consider. Like, it's old enough, and it has that humor, and like the ending is so funny and like satirical and kind of like a little bit Shrek vibes of like making fun of itself along the way. The story itself gave me Ella Enchanted energy a little bit, just in like the kind of like some, not fourth wall breaks, but just the self-awareness of like the archetypal characters, I guess. I don't know. I really enjoyed it, and I will be reading the whole physical book at some point, but I did read the abridged audiobook, which counts for something. And then I did put that poll up about all of those other 4 books I wanted to read. And then I let it go the whole 24 hours, and Delilah Green and Danny Brown ended exactly tied. So that didn't really help at all, but I think I'm gonna try and read some of Danny Brown today. I am first on the wait list for the audiobook, so I'm sure it will come in like this week at some point. But I did also find the audiobook for In 5 Years by Rebecca Surley, which is a pretty brief audiobook. I really enjoyed this author's other book, One Italian Summer, that I read a few months ago. It has this kind of like magical realism element, and One Italian Summer was about a woman and her mother and traveling, and this I think is about friendship, and kind of growing as adults in different directions as your life progresses in different directions, as like being friends. So I think I can make some headway on this audiobook today, which is great. I'm trying to take more of a dent out of my physical TBR, audiobooks included, because I would like to just put some of these back on my normal shelf, like my finished, I have read these books bookshelves, rather than my TBR card, you know? Yeah, and whether or not I finish either of those books, we are ending the vlog later today, and I will be back to give you an update wrap-up of what we did and where we're leaving it. Gonna catch up on some things, and then we'll be back later. But I'm gonna start the audio for In 5 Years. I've been really good. I've done most of my like house production stuff. I just have a couple more loads of laundry to finish. But otherwise, hi. We vacuumed, we cleaned the kitchen, we did the backyard. We just kind of like picked up little bits and pieces, you know. And then I figured, well, I'll just go through with my trusty blow dryer. I have a stack of books that I've been meaning to take the stickers off of. So if you didn't know, this is the hack that I learned from Bookstagram, where you just blast the stickers on your books for like 30 seconds with a blow dryer. And if there's any, sometimes like if there's any residue left over, I'll just use like cotton pads with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and you would never know there was ever stickers on them. So I'm gonna go through, I have like, what is this, 7 books with stickers that I want to get off, and we will just keep the productivity train rolling. You would think that having long nails would help this process. I'm struggling with my long nails here. Got me an orange stick, like for your cuticles, that I think will help me get these stickers up. Oh my gosh, that's gonna work like a charm. We are just adding on to the hack right now. Boom. What sticker? Okay, we are now completely sticker free on all of these bad boys. Can I hold all these? Ta-da! Well, it is Sunday night, right before it gets dark, which means we're ending this vlog. I did finish the audiobook like just now for In 5 Years. I read it almost like straight through, and I even finished cleaning the house and then just like sat down, redid my nails Barbie pink, and finished the end of the audiobook, and it was a time. I don't think that I loved it. It's like a low 3-star for me, but I'm glad that I read it, and I really have come to enjoy Rebecca Searle's writing and like the lessons and kind of this like mysticism that she sprinkles in. I will definitely be reading more from Rebecca Searle, but I don't know, it wasn't my favorite. It was a little bit, it was boring, and then it was very dramatic, and I don't know that it was super justified. My nails aren't quite dry, so if I'm just no, okay? I don't know, it was a good afternoon quick read, right? But it's not one that I will return to and think, wow, what a masterpiece, right? But we did read this entirely, which honestly, this has been the most productive, wonderful reading week, even though I didn't really love anything. No 5 stars this week, a lot of 3 stars this week. And tonight I will be starting Take a Hint, Danny Brown, which is so funny because obviously Danny Brown, but also the main character in 5 Years is also named Danny. So that's just a weird coincidence, but this will be my evening reading companion that matches my shirt. But as for the books that we actually read this week, I'm feeling really proud of myself. I have 5 books that I read in this one weekly reading vlog. That's a lot for me in a week. I'm really pleased with myself. And granted, one of them was The Princess Bride, even though I did read the abridged version, so I'll have to go back and read the whole book later on. But I mean, the abridged audiobook is counting for now, which was, I gave the abridged audiobook 3 stars. The Setup by Lizzie Dent also gave 3 stars, but then I did go out and immediately pick up her new release, The Sweetest Revenge. There's just something that I do really enjoy about Lizzie Dent's writing and character work. I don't think it's for everyone. It's barely for me. Like, I've given everything from her 3 stars so far, but there's just something about it that keeps me wanting more and coming back, so take that for what you will. Then, I guess the best of the week was One Last Stop, which I ended up giving 4 stars. Off to kind of a slow, rocky start for me, but I liked where we ended up, and kind of the ending and the lessons and the characters and the energy along the way. Then I also read Witchy Volume 2. It was cute, it was fun, I loved the coziness, I loved kind of there's like a level of craftsmanship and like working, like what am I trying to say? This book felt really similar to a very particular element of Kiki's Delivery Service, which is a movie that I love. I would consider that like honestly my favorite movie. And this book involves some like really oddly similar things to some of the themes and scenes in Kiki's. But beyond that, I don't think it really has like staying power, but I will definitely keep reading this series. And finally, In 5 Years, which we just talked about, but I'm really happy to have read this. Rebecca Searle, like I just said, is a new to me author that's on my radar, and I will happily read more from her. I think there's only 1 or 2 in her backlist that now I haven't read, so we are slowly chipping away. And then of course, Danny Brown is next on the docket, and that's gonna be like 6 books in a week for me, which is really out of control. I think that's probably why I read so much, because I knew I was doing a vlog and that there was like a deadline. Like it was a weekly vlog. So, you know, pack in as much as we can, and then that's it. No more. Wrap it up. Let me know what you think about this. I haven't done like a chill, not themed vlog or project in a while, so it was refreshing for me. I think it'll be fun and different to edit for me, so looking forward to that also. Tell me if you have any thoughts about any of these books, and thank you so much for being here. I have a bunch of fun links in the description, including my Instagram, my newsletter, my story graph, my tarot readings, etc., etc. I will also have links to all the books I mentioned, to my bookshop.org storefront, which is fun. You can also see all the books that I've read this year, all my book club picks through my storefront over there as well. I'm like out of breath from 30 seconds of talking. Okay, that's everything for me. Thank you so much for being here. Give your dog a big ol' squeeze from me, and I will see you very soon. Love you, bye.